There are so many crises in the world that we need a foreign minister who can actually get her head round the problem. So, although at the moment the focus is on Ukraine, and rightly so, 4 million refugees have now fled the Ukraine, and over half of those are children. And this is the largest movement of people in Europe since the Second World War. Now, this isn't the only point of crisis around the world. We've still got to remember the crisis in Yemen, the crisis in Ethiopia, in Syria. These crises, and in Afghanistan, these crises have not stopped because the Ukraine has taken centre stage, and rightly so. But if we in the UK have offered to help these people, and 28,000 people have put their names forward to host Ukrainian families, and we have managed in 2 weeks, we've not even managed 3,000 visas. This is shameful. And I've said so many times, I use the expression that I learnt in Greece, but it's also in Turkey. It's also a Russian expression, the fish smells from the head. There is only one person responsible for this indolence, for this desultory and lacklustre display of support, and that is the Foreign Minister herself and the Home Office Minister herself. They are both incompetent. It goes beyond ineptitude. They're incompetent. They cannot do their job. This has been clear for many, many months. One of them has been accused of bullying. The other one I have pointed out doesn't know her own geography and doesn't really know what she's doing. We shouldn't be fielding these people just because it makes Boris look good. And it's not only them. There's plenty of other people in our present government who are incapable of doing their job properly. I know from my own experience of one particularly, Nadine Dorries, who can't even be bothered to open envelopes, let alone reply to the letters inside them. I cannot begin to tell you how often I have written to that particular lady. And Matt Hancock demonstrated a level of corruption that still hasn't been properly explored, and there hasn't been a proper account for that. It's not good enough just simply to say, "No, I didn't do it," or you've misunderstood. I don't think we have misunderstood. I think there are questions that need to be asked. And laziness, a level of laziness in high office, demonstrated again by another one of these inept ministers who still remains in position. Indeed, he is the Deputy Prime Minister, Dominic Raab. How can we have this man who couldn't be bothered to get off his backside in Crete when there was a crisis in Afghanistan? How can we have this man pontificating about what the government is doing? I don't understand. I really don't understand. We are at a point of major crisis. And if Boris cannot find people in his government, in his backbenches, to occupy the highest offices in the land, then he needs to look. He needs to look at the opposition, and he needs to consider a government of national unity. I'm sure he's not going to do that. So the option remains. He should look at his backbenchers, because we cannot continue to be making excuses and to be saying, well, we mean well, but sorry, we cannot deliver because our government is led by twits. It's as simple as that. And I'm so sorry. And I hang my head in shame at what we are doing. And it's at moments like this that I slightly regret pulling out of the political race.